Hi, everyone. This is Marilyn Bradford, and I would like to welcome you to my Left Turn podcast. What is your left turn? Writing a blog, parenting in a different way, letting go of the old because you are aware of something greater. Left turns are choices we can all make. It's about a willingness to step into the unknown in any area of your life, to trust yourself, to risk creating or trying something new. It's about letting your true uniqueness shine. The greatest people who have lived, artists, statesmen, writers, explorers, musicians, have all been people willing to turn left. What capacities do you have that you have not acknowledged? What would your life and the world be like if you were willing to turn left? Welcome, everyone, to this edition of the Left Turn podcast. I am joined today by an absolutely amazing woman, Sara Alfaro, MD. Now, to read the list of what she's accomplished is incredible. And besides that, she's a wife, a mother. She does it all. But let me see if I can get some of this correct. She does physical, medical rehabilitation. She had a residency in surgery. There's just this whole list of things that she accomplished in a more traditional sense of the medical community. Then she also went off and did some incredible left turns with alternative kinds of medicine. So she has a very full life and manages through all of that to be completely joyful and just an incredibly kind and pleasant person. So I'm so happy to welcome you, Sara.
Thank you so much, Marilyn. It is truly a pleasure to be here with you. I have missed our talks. We've been busy the past few months.
We may have to reinstitute those. Well, what would you consider some of your most riveting and life-changing left turns?
The one that really changed the course of my career is one where I switched from traditional mainstream medicine as a physical medicine and rehabilitation specialist. You know, everything was like going the traditional or mainstream way. And all of a sudden I chose an alternative path, which was like going completely off script. You know, I went with 3 kids, 3 little babies. My husband gave me the impulse to do something different because our little boy was having allergy problems, severe allergy problems. And he said, I don't trust anybody to treat him because everything wasn't working. So why don't you go and learn something different? So I moved to Colombia, where I did the specialty in that time that it was called biological medicine. It's a different way of treating people with diet, homeopathy, different hands-on treatments, massages, lymphatic drainage, ozone therapy.
Wow.
So I relearned medicine all over again. And then when I went back to El Salvador, I sort of combined both things. Mm-hmm. The rehabilitation medicine that I was doing, but through a holistic approach, where you take into consideration the body, the mind, the emotions, and the healthy lifestyle, which finally now has become a thing, you know, like lifestyle medicine. But at the time, 28 years ago, nobody was talking about that.
Interesting. And what kind of reaction did you get from various people, the medical community?
Well, that was unexpected because I was like the link between surgery and physical therapy and rehabilitation. So I always was present in all the, the meetings before deciding for surgery or what the plan was for the patients. And when they learned that I had just gotten back from Colombia from doing biological medicine, they kindly asked me not to come to the meetings anymore because I was doing witch medicine. I'm like, are you serious? Yeah.
Wow. So what happened after that?
Well, I decided to quit the institutional job. I worked at the Social Security system, like it runs the medical program for like 20% of the population. So when I got that rejection, I just said, well, I'm quitting and I'll just be working on my private practice. And there I just did, I already had the clinic for physical therapy. So I incorporated all the other concepts. And I had a big, long fight with the medical insurances. For years, they didn't approve of any of the treatments that I was doing.
Oh
So the
my God.
patient had to pay from their pocket.
Wow.
And I kept on insisting, sending reviews, medical articles. And most of the time, it was the patients that were pushing with the companies to get reimbursed until finally, about 10 years ago, we started getting paid from medical insurances, private medical insurances for the treatments.
Wow. Yeah.
But it was like a 20-year, well, maybe 15-year fight.
Goodness. But you seem so happy about it.
Yeah, because really the people that have stayed with me are the ones that really believe in what we're doing. And they see how quickly their pain changes. I deal mostly with pain medicine. And I also took another left turn about 2016 when I was kind of stuck with results with the patients, that there were some that didn't improve in spite of doing, neural therapy, ozone therapy, physical therapy, and a lot of, physical things. And I was really asking, what else can I do with these patients? I had a psychologist at the clinic working with me. So, we were doing like mind, body, but it really, some patients weren't improving. So out of the blues, I had to go to Florida to see about a machine that was not working well, and I had to go to the place that makes them, to the factory. But I met with a friend from high school. I went to boarding school in Wellesley, and I met with her. I hadn't seen her in like 10 years. And she started asking me, about my life, and I asked her about her life, and she seemed really happy. And she told me about bars. And I was like, what are bars? And she's like, well, this is really wacky, crazy thing that really has changed my life. So why don't you run my bars? And I said, I have no idea what that is. And she's like, I'll show you where to put your hands. So I put my hands where she told me to put my hands. I didn't feel anything. She said she relaxed, but that got me really curious. And she lent me a book, the Dr. Dane's book, Being You book, Changing the World. So I devoured that book in that night I stayed with her. So the next day I said, I really have to learn this technique. This is amazing. So I went into this access journey, trying to find a facilitator, which in El Salvador, we didn't have any. So I took my first bars class in London, 2016, because I was doing a medical presentation and I figured, why not take a class while I'm here?
Yeah.
So that's how I started. And now we have added bars and body processes to the treatments that we offer in the clinic.
That's amazing. I didn't realize that.
I'm still fighting with the insurance to get them reimbursed for the bar sessions. We haven't managed to get that one done yet.
Well, do you have Terry's?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have all of that.
We've been in contact, and I was also running a study, but COVID kind of got me, drifted away from it because we were testing with a device to see how the brain waves change before and after the bar session, which was amazing to do. Absolutely.
I got my bars run yesterday. Yes.
It is so amazing. Bars really give you this space where I tell them it's like getting nanoseconds of time before you react. So you have the space, and then you can really ask, okay, what's next? Before exploding like we usually do.
Well, I would be interested, and I think people would be interested in some of these things, like what is ozone therapy? What are some of the kinds of things that you do?
Yeah. Well, ozone is my favorite thing in the whole world. Truly, truly. It really, when something's really true for you, the moment you start using it, you become like a crazed fan of it. And ozone is just like a supercharged oxygen molecule. And oxygen is the only thing that you can't live without. You can go without food for a few days, You can go without water for a couple of days, but you can't go without oxygen.
Yes.
So what ozone does is reactivates the way you use oxygen.
Huh.
So as we age, I mean, this is usually
Hello?
what happens. As we age, our mitochondria start losing the ability to produce energy. And it's mostly caused by all the external things that we do to our bodies, you know, the diet, the contamination, the stress, the smoking, drinking, lack of exercise. I mean, just a not very healthy lifestyle. And your mitochondria lose the ability to make enough energy. So what ozone does is it reactivates the mitochondria within every cell of your body, and you start producing more ATP. So when you have more energy, you not only do like basic maintenance, you know. I always tell the patients, if you have money in the bank, just enough, you just do the maintenance thing in your house. You know, don't let the walls fall, but you don't really upgrade your house. But if you have like $1 million extra in your bank account, what are you going to do to your house? You're going to upgrade it, make, you know, better lighting, better, you know, system of airing or whatever. So that's exactly what our body does when it finds itself with a lot more energy, this reserve extra energy, and it starts using it to renew each organ and cell. So people start feeling better, more energetic, the pain goes away, even the skin looks healthier and younger, the hair recovers. I mean, every organ starts rebuilding itself. So that's why I love ozone. And you can use it like intravenous, you can inject it, you can use it as a sauna, you can put it as an oil in your face. I mean, you can, yeah, you can use it in enema, you can use it in your rectum to help your intestines and in general, all your systems. So ozone is a very versatile treatment.
If someone wanted to find out more about that, like how to, where would they go?
I have a webpage that's called Fisioterapia El Salvador. It's like physiotherapy El Salvador, but in Spanish, fisioterapiaelsalvador.com. And it shows all the
possibilities.
Yeah, and all the services that we have, that we provide at the clinic.
That's so great. Well, maybe Betsy could get that. You could send her that in an email. That sounds amazing.
Yeah. We get some international patients that now, especially that El Salvador is becoming like a tourist destination. We're getting more and more people, particularly the ones that left during the 80s because of the war situation. And now they're going back to invest and to visit the beaches, and it's a really pretty country.
Trip to El Salvador and Sarah's clinic. That sounds amazing.
Yes. And we have a project that the trees that are behind me is another left turn that we've been taking together with my husband and my kids. During COVID, when everybody was closing and, you know, there was a lot of like fear and, you know, medical clinics were closed for a while, we decided to create a forest in a little farm that I had, but it was empty. We didn't have anything there. So we just wanted to explore what it would be to create a forest. And the engineers told us that the best tree to plant because of the height and the weather was mahogany, which turns out to be a very, beautiful and expensive wood. So we planted 25,000 mahogany trees.
Oh my gosh, how big were they in the beginning?
They were seeds. We planted seeds. Yeah. We did nursery. We got the seeds to grow, and then we planted each tree, and then we had to water each tree. That was the hardest part. So we did watering with, do you know, like drop watering with using, you know, plastic bottles from Coca-Cola or soda bottles, you know? So we gather all the empty bottles from the neighborhood, and we would fill the bottles every single day for every single tree. That was quite the task.
Wow.
And now they're about 10 meters. I don't know what that is in feet.
That's amazing.
They're like 5 times my height.
Yeah, they're like well, I think that's over 30 feet, I think.
They're pretty big.
They're pretty big. And that all since COVID?
Yeah, we planted them in as seeds in February 2021, and in the soil they started in June 2021.
Wow.
4 years.
They're 30 to 40 feet. That's phenomenal.
It is amazing.
In a forest. And what are you going to do from here with those?
Well, we're building a little cabin now. We plan to move there. And
The cabin? From
yeah,
your
to
house?
move there. Yeah. It's very near us, another city, and probably I will start another medical clinic there because it's a very busy city and they have a lot of medical clinics. So I'm thinking of that as an option to keep on doing my practice, but not have to travel all the way back to the capital every day.
Yeah, that's a lot. That if you add all
it's like a 2-hour, 2.5 drive.
That's too long.
Yeah.
You can't spend 5 hours a day in a car.
No. It's too, besides, every time we get there, I don't want to come back. I just want to stay there.
Well,
it's really nurturing.
Yeah, I get that sense. There's an energy about it that's nurturing and nourishing and gratitude and just very lovely. Very, very, very.
It truly is healing. And I was reading a medical article, like randomly, and they talk about forest therapy. That the forest,
of that, but I didn't know what it was.
It supposedly, I'm probably saying something stupid, but there's like a molecule, like an energetic something that they've discovered that the forest has. I still have to figure out exactly what they mean by it, but I was so surprised because finally we're getting to a point in medicine that we are starting to see things that are not really visible. And sometimes we can't explain how they work, but we know that they work.
Yeah, like bars.
yeah, exactly.
Bars
and at the beginning, I was trying to demonstrate that it worked. That was my first intention when I started. Like, I will show the medical community that bars is something scientific and it works. And after the thing with the COVID and the study that I didn't finish publishing it, I was like, I don't care if people think or believe that it works or not. I mean, I just don't care anymore. I'm going to offer it to the patients, and the ones who want to try it will try it, and they will spread the word. And if they don't want to try it, I'm sorry. The invitation is there, and I'm not invested in convincing people to try it.
That's really a left turn in and of itself. It's an attitude change that I think many of us in Access have gone through, of letting go of external validation or trying to fix people or anything. Like, here it is, whatever it is. Here's ozone therapy. Here are the bars. Here's forest therapy. Try it if you want. If you don't, oh, well, that's okay too. And what a freeing energy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. When that point of like the fifth element came in Access about being the unfulfilled savior, I was like, I've been doing that my whole life. My whole life, it's been dedicated as the mission to heal people, to show people, to help them, to get the pain away from them. And when that like clicked, it's like, it's not my role to heal anybody or take the pain away. I mean, I can only show some options, and if all they want is a prescription pad, I will be willing to fill that prescription pad and be done with it. And that really changed that for me. It's like really like took such a weight off my shoulders. I almost quit practicing medicine for a while. I was like, there's no point. This thing doesn't solve. Medicine is not really going to help them with the pain. It's only going to be a Band-Aid. And at the end, I've finally come to terms that some people, that's all they're willing to receive. And I'll be there to, to give them what they choose to receive at that moment. And if they choose more a little bit later, I'll still be there.
Yeah, that's just lovely, because you're putting the clients in the position of choosing for their lives, their bodies. It's up to you, which is actually incredibly empowering.
Yeah, I've seen more changes with my change of attitude now. It's like, and it's it's less effort on my part, and definitely less on my body also, because we also tend to use our bodies as a healing tool, and it
Yes,
can take a toll on our own personal health.
absolutely. Yeah, you're just giving all and not gassing up and not making them responsible for their choices.
And that's where these amazing trees have really saved my life.
I love it. That's just so lovely. It makes me want to go out into a forest today.
The place is
Fortunately,
called Paquilistli. It's the Nahuatl language that it's extinct now, but it's still some older people speak it, and it means place of happiness.
oh, that's wonderful. So is that what you're calling your forest, or?
Yeah, that's what it's called. The whole place is called Paquilistli.
Oh, that's lovely. The space of happiness.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being on here. Do you have any other words for people who are looking at left turns or healing or?
Yeah, well, I mean, life does surprise you, but if you keep on going for what really feels true for you, I mean, it's going to get you to a place of true happiness, and doesn't matter what people think, that if you're gone crazy,
Yeah,
but if you're in that space and you have that peace of mind and you have that joy,
yeah,
you're doing it right for you. I mean,
yeah,
even if it's a left turn for everybody else, but it's a right, I mean, it's a present thing for you.
yes. Very lovely, beautiful. Thank you so much, Sarah, for coming on today.
Yeah, thank you, Marilyn. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much for joining this episode of Left Turn. I wonder what embracing left turns could create in your life. What magical possibilities might show up. Remember, when you choose left turns, you are joining a group of the most creative and brilliant people the world has ever known.